What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 28 different altcoins today. The music is playing in the background. Enjoy it while it lasts, but I am going to pause it once we do get into the charts. Yes, I'm wearing a very colorful hat. It just felt like it, man. I'm getting ready to go on vacation. We were trying out our tropical outfits, costumes, whatever, and the hat came out today, so it stays on. Anyways, enough of that. 28 altcoins for you guys. Today. We're going to go over the list right now, and then once I'm done with the list, we'll get into the TA. I will pause the music so it's not distracting. But for now, enjoy the musical stylings of Vivaldi. We're going to be talking about GAL and WAN for VJ, Data and GTC for Gem Zero, Zen and Loopring for Dirty Beard, Maker and GRT for Crypto Investor, VXV for Frankenstein, Near for Unlawful Law, ICP for John Speed, TRX for Kara, YFI for Shazad Alani, Sui for Mark Balzerzak, Jasmy and Goldfish for Jonas the Brother, PikaMoon for Hey Ghosty, Inverse Finance for Salomao Santos, BSV and Jupiter for Mike Ike, HNT for Sake Tate, HFT for Tutu, 0x0 for Joe Mansus, XEP for the Gerent Group LLC, AERO for NJ Cat, Time for Haterside, STX for Mr. Now you told me it was Cecil or Cecil. You spelled it the same way I think that Cecil or Cecil is. So I don't know if it's Mr. Liesel or Mr. Lessel. I think I said Lessel last time, so we're gonna go with Mr. Liesel, and then we're gonna finish it up after STX. We're gonna finish it up with BonabBit for Jacob Wharton. And that's the order, that's the list we're getting into. If you guys haven't hit that like button, hit that like button, baby. Let's go. Subscribe if you haven't. You guys, thank you very much for all the new subscribers. This is not only the second biggest month I've had on a subscriber basis, but it's looking like we only have a couple more days left in the month, but it's looking like it could get up to be the first, like just barely to the first. So let's see what we can do. Hit that subscribe button, you guys. Share this video. Share it with anybody that wants just a deep dive, or not a deep dive, a really shallow dive on 28 different altcoins. This might not be the best video to share, but anyways, we're gonna get into it now. I did pause the music. Yes. All right. So let's do this. All right, Gal. I don't know anything about probably 80% of these projects, you guys. Just so you know. Just so you know. Just so you're aware of that. It's all about technical analysis. Some people might say that you don't know anything about the projects. How can you have a say at all, an opinion at all about where the price goes? That's not what technical analysis is about, guys. It's not about fundamentals. It's not about understanding what a project does. It's about understanding what price does. And you can see here, I don't know anything about this project. From high to low, we're right at the 1618, a very common area, a common extension to find resistance on. If we were to take the measure move of this kind of pattern that you have, I wonder, that would call for higher prices inevitably, but you might be working right now, working your way down to the 1272 to find support, maybe even down to the 100 or the 886 area to find support. Let's see what you're doing on your fibs, or on your RSI. Let's see here. We are on the weekly time frame. You're very hot. You were up in the, right below 90 at 88 there. Tipping that 1618 a couple times. I kind of think you will top off, but let's look at the daily. Yeah, you've got some significant bearish divergence formed there. I would say you do go lower. Again, probably to the 1272 is what I would look for, which is all the way down at about $3.90. You very well could go all the way down to 250, maybe even 285, but I don't know if you go down that low. I would more think, because you've kind of already found support there in your stair stepping up to this high. I would think that you do find support at the 1272 at about $3.90. Give or take 5 cents, whatever. You could find support a little bit below it. You could even find support literally not at this line, but somewhere in between here. So just be aware of that. I would say 390 or potentially lower is where you're going for the time being. So that's Gal. Let's move on to Wan or Wan. Is this Wanchain? This is Wanchain, man. Anytime I hear it's been a long time since I've heard of this one or looked at it, given it any consideration. Crypto Lark Davis. I feel like he really liked Wanchain back in the day, and he'd always say Wanchain, like that, just like that, Wanchain. I hear his voice anytime this goes on. Shout out to Crypto Lark. If by the grace of the crypto gods, he saw this, man. I like Lark, man. I think he's a good guy. You never know, though. You never know, man. People can seem like good guys, and then you meet them in real life, and you know they're not what they portray themselves to be. But I think he's a good guy. Anyways, high to low here. Enough of that. We are in the overbought zone, looking like we could go higher. We did hit the 382, went a little bit above it. That's okay. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, you might have found a relative high. Come back down, find a higher low. You could go all the way back to your 236 down at about 26.5 cents, 26.7 cents. You might hold support at 32.7 cents or even 31 cents, something like that. Let's see, a relative fib here. Low to high. Yeah, your 61869 is at about 30.6 to 32.13. Somewhere around there sounds fine to find. You know, that is right around your previous areas of resistance before you broke out. So coming down, finding a higher low, building higher after that sounds about right to me. The 4 hour does look like it wants to come down a little bit more. Yeah, I would say so. It looks like hidden bullish divergence right now because you have the lower lows with the higher lows, but you haven't completed this bearish divergence move yet. You're really close to doing it, and I don't think you're going to stop here personally. But you could. It is possible that you could stop right here, like literally just below this, find support on this 50 and bounce up and continue higher. But you do have decreasing volume. That's actually nice volume day after day. I don't know, man. The rejection or the potential rejection off the 382 looks pretty sound to me. I would think that you are going lower. I'm going to say 31 cents to 32.5 cents, somewhere around there is where you want to go. What's this thing look like? Oh yeah, man. This thing looks good. Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd go too much lower than that. Like, you might not even go that low. You could hold like 35 cents as support, to be fair. Yeah, it looks good. It's going to do really well after it finds its low and continues to move higher. I mean, really what it's doing right now is just standard volatility. Whenever it comes down, it's not going to be like a major crash. It's just a somewhat higher low, and then boom, you continue up on this path. Because really what you just did was you broke out of this accumulation phase. It's looking good, looking good. Enough on that, though. But for the time being, it's probably going to go down. Data, USD, streamer, data coin. Looking at it on the weekly, pretty overbought, hitting the 90. Not really doing too much. I mean, you're doing good, but you're trying to go higher and you just can't seem to do it. Hit the 618, yeah, okay, tipped it, quite literally tipped it. Holding the 0.5, you could come down to about 5.75 cents. You could. 5.8 cents, somewhere around there. Daily RSI looks resilient, but all in all, I would say it looks like it wants to go lower. So yeah, I think you probably do. You might consolidate around this area as you have been doing, really. And then until you're ready to move up, I mean, you won't really know until you break about 11.22 cents, which you're at 8.24 cents. So that's a ways away. The 4 hour looks decent, but I don't like this rejection off of the overbought zone. I don't like that at all. But it does look somewhat constructive, I'm not going to lie. But all in all, I'm going to stick with it. I think you're moving lower. Let's see you probably around 5.78 cents, if not at least 6.9 cents, somewhere around there. Kind of a big range, but that's what we got. Down for data. GTC. This one hits close to home, man. I like Gitcoin. It's one of my holds, one of my smaller holds, but still. It's only because it hasn't done anything yet, man. If it grows, it could be, who knows? It could be one of my bigger holds. That's how it happens, man. Your smallest holds become your biggest holds because it's the ones that you have the least amount of money in that do the best. That's 382. Speaking from experience, man, multiple times. 382 to the 236. It's a very nice look that you have, especially with how you're going this week. You have about 3 days left. I think you do want to move higher. You came down, classic maneuver on your way up to your 61869 area. So inevitably, you're just in the beginnings of a move that'll take you up to 722, $9.40, something like that. You look really good on your weekly RSI, man. Let's see what you're doing on the daily. Yeah, daily looks good too. Did you bounce right off the 40? No, it's not the 40. 36. A lot of crypto's been doing that lately, like that 35 area, I've noticed. It just seems very habitual, or I don't know, similar. What's the word I'm looking for? Reoccurring. Yeah, I think you want to move higher. You're probably going to go in the relatively immediate terms, 351 to 433, or yeah, you might be working your way all the way up to that $6 to $8 area, man. But first, I would look for this 351 to 433 area. Pay attention to that, because that might be, if you're looking for like short-term trades. If not, really, you don't have to worry about anything until this 618, 69 area of the greater fib, 729 to 945, something like that. But in the more immediate terms, you know, if you want to catch a move somewhat like this, you might find your next high up here, right? And then come down and, you know, or maybe even go a little bit lower, find support on previous highs, and then move higher. Very, very common stuff. It kind of fits with this curve you've got going too. But nonetheless, all I'm trying to say is it looks good for immediate upside. 351 to 433 is where I think you're going. That's GTC. Good job. Yeah, that'll be decent gains in a short amount of time, man. GTC is going to start cooking, I think. Zen. Horizon. Looking decent on the weekly RSI. I don't like that you have this rejection look on the overbought zone, so it would be nice if this week could close green. If not, you might be making a move basically back down to where you just found a low at. But that's what I'm thinking. You already found your low. I don't see why you wouldn't go up this week. Let's look at the daily. You're in a position, man, where you really could start moving up. But if you go down today, essentially if you close today red, you're probably going to go back down to this low, if not lower. I want to look at the relative fib here. High to low. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all, actually. Yeah, it might be going down. That's okay. HZen, you know, or Zen, not HZen. Zen might be going down. It's been doing all right, you know, since February. Yeah, you probably come down. Let's see. Get a couple different perspectives. Yeah, man. How the last one, literally, it was the exact opposite of this. GTC, where you found resistance, and then you moved down to your 236. This is your finding support, and then you found resistance at your 236, which the idea from this kind of setup would be the 618, 69 area. Man, this would have been perfect. This would have been a perfect example after I wanted to make a video on fibs, guys. I really tried the other night, like last night, and my internet was down, so unfortunately I was unable to do it. But this is a very classic setup right here. You guys can just, like, for anybody watching, you want to learn fibs at like a very basic level. This is a classic thing that happens, right? And it doesn't mean that it has to stop there. It could go lower. I don't think that it would, but bouncing off your 382, finding resistance on your 236, or from the upside even, where you find resistance on your 382, find support on your 236, then you go up the 618, 69. After seeing this kind of setup, it's like the next area. Yes, you have the 0.5 in between, but it's generally disregarded, especially in this kind of situation. But it can happen. Anything can happen at any time. But what I'm trying to say, all that to say, getting sidetracked here, is I would not be surprised if Zen moved all the way back down below 10 bucks, man. Probably down to 985, 915. Yeah, probably. Let's see. I want to look at this. I did say I'd take multiple fibs. Yeah, it's not a good look, man. You would want, after bouncing off the 886, you'd want to continue higher. There is hope. That in itself, this is actually a pretty good look off the extensions, but I just don't like it paired with the fibs, or with the RSI. Yeah, generally this kind of fib would look good, but everything else about it says down. So I'm going to stick with the original thought that it does go down. I mean, maybe you hold prices above 10 cents. It is possible, but as of right now, I'm looking at, sorry, $10. I'm looking at 915 to 985. That's my personal opinion. At least down from here. Best case scenario, you hold support at about 1150, between like 1020 and 1150, something like that. But if not, you're going below 10 bucks, just a little bit. But that's Zen, looking like it wants to go down regardless from here. unless you close today green. If you close today green and you start closing above here, there is hope, I suppose. If you close today green, it can start to look good. But you need to close today. You need to not go lower than this. Like, that can't happen. It can't happen after today. It just can't. Maybe in like a week or like a few weeks it can happen. But like as of right now, the relative like day to 3 days time frame, you don't want to cross below this 50. You don't want to break this kind of structure that you have. You're very close to doing it. And the 4 hour does not look encouraging. The 2 hour does not look encouraging. The 1 hour does not look encouraging either. So I've got bad vibes. I think it's going down, but there is hope nonetheless. LRC, and I like Zen. I think it'll do fine throughout the cycle, just for the more immediate terms, guys. A lot of this video, unless specified otherwise, is for the immediate kind of time frame ideas, right? Unless I sprinkle in some long term in there. I don't tend to do long term on these videos because long term, to get an accurate look, right? If I'm going to do the long term, day to day stuff, I'm never okay with being. I am okay with being wrong. I shouldn't say that. My goal is to never be wrong, right? But I accept and I believe and I know in my heart that I could be wrong in any single thing that I guess, right? Or thing that I'm doing technical analysis on. It's not just guessing. It's educated guessing, I suppose. But man, what was I gonna say? It takes a lot more to do long-term analysis accurately. There's a lot more things to consider than just like this basic stuff, right? This stuff can change day to day, where the long term, it has a set personality that you have to get to know. You have to go over it. So anyways, that's why most of these on the request videos are just kind of short, immediate term analysis. I don't mind this look, but it does set you up to go back to about 32 to 35 cents. Here you are at 39 cents now. You're at LRC. Let's see. Man, if you could close this week green, that'd be really nice. That would be a good look. That'd be a really good look. You got time to do it, and you're not that far down. You're only down 2.2%. Daily, man, this is very close. They're actually pretty damn close. Dirty Beard, Zen, and LRC, they look very similar. I would give it kind of the same ideas here, man. If it closes red today, really, if you get below this 50, you already have, yeah. If you close red today, that's not good. But if you can get some green today, that's good. If not, you're probably moving back to these lows around 35 cents to potentially down here at about 32 cents. Would be my guess, my best kind of guess. Let's see. Yeah, I would say so, man. You might be going to 32 cents, maybe even go to 30 cents, but yeah, lower is what I'm thinking. All right, that's LRC. Let's talk about Maker. We're going to do a little bit of an in-depth one on this one because there's a couple people that requested a couple different things. And it shouldn't take too long to do the little extra things, but high to low here. Looking really good, looking damn near unstoppable, man. That's a really nice break above your 618. I would call that a first attempt too. It's arguable, it's debatable that it could be your second attempt. You front ran, sold off right here, kind of consolidated around it. I would say really you consolidated around it, and then your first attempt truly was here. Whatever. The importance, the significance of breaking above the 618 on the first attempt, I've come to find, really solidifies the probabilities, the likelihoods of seeing this area. It's not just like a pipe dream, right? Like you can, instead of like hope for these highs one day to come in, you can essentially count on it. And you can't really count on anything, of course. Any and everything that I say or that I do as far as technical analysis goes can be wrong, right? I said that earlier, but based off of like statistics and probability, this area just got a whole lot more probable. It definitely did with this previous week here, about 3 weeks ago. Anyways, I like the weekly RSI. All that to say, I do like the weekly RSI. It could go higher, but you are pretty hot. I would think you want to go higher. Let's look at the daily. Daily RSI looks nice too. Yeah. If, man, also a kind of precarious situation. If you close today red, you'd be rejecting off the overbought zone. You'd have a higher high, decreasing volume too, man. I don't know. It's not a good look right there. I'm curious to see how the day closes. It is higher volume relative to like the days leading up to this, but it just seems lackluster. So you'd want today to close green and hopefully get as much volume, if not more volume, or at least around this level of volume that you had yesterday. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour looks fine. It honestly does look fine. Do you have, let's see, 1272 kind of. What is this? Let's see how you do today. Let's see how you do today, because I really don't know. Hopefully that's not how all of these coins are going to go, but this one is, to be fair, where it is in the RSI. If you were to turn red and reject from here, that'd be a rejection. You'd get a double rejection off the overbought zone while having kind of 2 strikes of bearish divergence. I would think that you absolutely would move all the way back down to about 2,814, about $1,000 lower, man. Give or take, right? So don't do that. Don't close today red. Close the day green, and we can talk about you going higher. Let's look at this on the long term here, right? That's what you want, man. I remember when this came out. Where are we at here? Something was telling me to buy it, but because it was a new coin, I'm like, I'm skeptical of new coins, man. But it's proven itself. It definitely proved itself. Crazy, man. I remember that month. That was nuts. Anyways, high to low here, 61869. Broke through it. Beautiful, right? I mean, yeah. Basically what I started with saying, I suppose. I did the long term and I didn't even mean to. $12,700 to $30,800. Let's see what you're doing here. MKR. And don't worry, EK, we're going to throw that ribbon on there for you, man. 3.46 billion. I know that Crypto Investor requested this, but EK made a special request. Let's see. That's an 8x at the high. 8x from here. Let's just call it 3.5. It would be 24. That'd be what? 25.5. Just under. Let's call it 25 billion. Yeah, that's a doable market cap for something like this, man. It might not stop there. Like, genuinely speaking, you guys, Maker could go up to 60,000. I mean, what would a 44x be? 44x on 3.4x, 3.5. Let's call it a 3.5x. Well, that would be over 100 billion. I don't know. Maybe not that so much. But we could look, I would say, man, 30K to 61K is very possible, absolutely, for this thing. And maybe it does see, it is multiple cycles old. You know, it's been through the ass end of a bull market, a full bear market, which it held up pretty well, honestly. Another bull market, and then a bear market, which was more dramatic to the downside, but still you had higher highs and higher lows, more bullish than most charts in crypto that have been around this long. You really could see a more than a $100 billion market cap. So, hey, maybe this is possible. Like, genuinely, no crap at all, man. Maker by the end of the cycle could be worth $163,000. It really could. But for now, let's keep our feet on the ground, and still pretty crazy to say that it's going to go to about 31 to 61K. Okay. If not, like, genuinely, this could happen. This really could happen. So that's Maker. Let's throw the ribbon on here just because you were curious, right? For anybody that has premium on TradingView, if you don't, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work anymore, but you click this. This is your templates. It does come with, like, pre-made things. MA exponential ribbon. It's moving average exponential ribbon. Technically, it's like an exponential moving average ribbon. I don't know why it phrases it like that, but man, that's a very, very bullish looking monthly ribbon right there. Weekly looks solid, looks strong. You could, I mean, stand to come back and touch it, but as you move down, if you were to consolidate or move down, you know, this week would continue to climb, so like you could touch it without having to move all the way back down to these prices, if that makes sense. Forward thinking with something like this. Don't look at where it is, look at where it will be, right? And with how that day looks, man, again, I stand by that. Let's see how you close today, because if you close red, that wouldn't look good. You probably would come back down to, you know, at least like $400 or $500 below, if not about $800 lower, back down around to this ribbon here. Yeah. The ribbon looks good though on all time frames, man. That 4 hour looks really, really bullish. Yeah. Hey, that's kind of nice. Hey, maybe you don't go below 3,200 actually. Maybe you don't. But that does not look nice. That, you guys, we're seeing the reversal take place right now. Oh yeah. Hard to say. The ribbon can't. The ribbon is a lagging indicator, you know, and that's what you get with moving averages. But anyways, I'm getting caught up on this. We don't need to. I'm gonna go back. I just did that special little part there at a request. So let's move on. Let's move on. GRT. At this rate, man, I'm staying up all night, guys. We're gonna be up all damn night. Hit that like button and subscribe for the all-nighter. High to low here. Look at, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Yeah, oh, I love that. I love that. You like kind of, oh, that's not what I meant to do. You kind of double topped around your 382, finally broke above it, literally back tested it, showing that you had significance on it before, but back testing it for support, and you just skyrocketed up above the 0.5 where you've been hanging right now. I mean, inevitably, I think you're going up to here, the 61869 area. You're just working your way. This is your little pit stop right now. Inevitably, you will probably by the end of April, if not like next week, this week, within the next few weeks. Like, if I would say very confidently by the end of April, but it could happen like literally within the next week or so, that you move up to prices at like 62.8 cents, 84, 85 cents. You're at 40.7 cents now, so you got some growing to do, probably. That weekly RSI looks really strong. Daily RSI, oh yeah. Yeah, she wants more, man. She wants to go up higher. Yeah, I think so. It's all said and done, essentially, when you get above 43.6 cents. You close the day above 43.6 cents, it's on, man. It's on to those prices I was talking about a second ago. So yeah, I like it. I think it looks great. I really do like this daily RSI. Yeah, no problems with it at all. Anyways, that's GRT. If you were to go lower, just to be blunt, if you were to go lower, you might go as low as about 32 cents, but I personally don't think that happens. I think you have more to go on the graph. You want to be to do a long-term analysis too. I don't know what's up with my throat today, guys. I don't smoke. I haven't smoked in like almost a year, like 3/4 of a year. I don't smoke. I don't vape. I don't do nothing that involves inhaling in my lungs. Top to bottom, where we at here? But I am wearing the pot hat. Oh man, very incriminating. Let's call it $4 billion just to make the math easy. $4 billion, and it rounds up too, right? So 4 billion, 20x on that would be, or 21x would be 82 billion. Had a little brain fart there. I don't know about that. But I do think that you could see $9, maybe even up to a $10 price on this chart. The graph, though, just so you guys know, just being fully transparent, because it has only had one bear cycle and it came out at the end of the bull cycle last cycle, it could see a lower high. It could. It really could. The majority of cryptos do not do well on their second cycles, right? And this, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a fair second cycle, right? It's really like its first real bull cycle, but I know it had a lot of hype last cycle. I feel like it still remained relevant, so I do feel like this is going to happen, but we'll see. You know, don't get totally disheartened if we find resistance there, but for what it's worth, I do believe we're going to go to $9, probably up to $10. If we were to reach 16 bucks, that'd be crazy. You'd be over $100 billion. I suppose it's possible, but I'm more looking for probably just below $10, a little bit above $9 is my thoughts on GRT. Let's move on to VXV. VXV vector space on KuCoin. What about crypto? Which one has the most data? They both do, so we'll go with KuCoin. So we have volume. High to low. Interesting. Ooh, really interesting. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. As long as you're holding above this 382, man, that's nice. You're holding above $1.10. Stay above $1.10. You can go below it. Just don't close below it. You know, get below it. Come right back up as soon as you do go below. Because if not, you might be running all the way back down to about 53 cents, which would be a big drop from $1.10. That's for sure. Looking at the daily, I mean, the RSI is resilient. It's not necessarily bullish, but it's not bearish, that's for sure. It's obviously very neutral, but I would like to see you continue, man. You're doing the right things. You are holding the right places, getting the right reactions off it. But you know, if you come back to this 382, really, if you close below it again, that would leave cause for concern that you could go down to about 70 cents, if not 53 cents itself, something like that. So watch for that. Watch for that. You did close below it here, and it was a little bit of a psych out. But if you do it again, I would think that the hopes to go up immediately were the psych out, actually. So inevitably, though, regardless of what you do, whether you bounce here or you come down and then you bounce there, still forming a higher low, by the way. Regardless of what you do, this is your target area. Once you start moving up again, $3.63, $5.22, you're at $1.19.7. That's a lot of growth to go, man. So, you know, if anybody's feeling the FOMO on this thing, they don't know what to do. They want to buy it, they want to sell it, they want to whatever. I don't think it's time to sell really any cryptos, guys. If you found a crypto that you believe is going to do good throughout the cycle, why sell it now? Not financial advice, but why sell it now? Because what, it could do this? Okay, cool. It's a higher low. Buy more down there. You know, don't sell. Just buy more if it goes lower. Because if you sell here and it does this instead, then you're in a really terrible position. Then you missed out on gains and you have to buy higher when it could literally drop back to around the areas that you sold in the first place. Like, it's just don't play that game. Save yourself the stress. Tell yourself, if I buy here and it goes down, that's okay. That's part of the plan. I'll just buy more, or I'll sit on my hands because inevitably it will go up. Or buy here and it just goes up for you. You know, whatever. Or if you don't buy here and it goes up, you're going to be forced to kind of look elsewhere, unless you want to just bite the bullet and buy here with the risk of potentially finding a retracement. But nonetheless, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here. All that to say, hold this 382, hold $1.10. If you can do that, 363, 522 is in your very near future. However, if you close below that, you are probably likely going down to about 53, 52 and a half cents, somewhere around there. And I don't really have a genuine thought as to which direction you'd go. I suppose looking at the 4 hour makes me a little bit bullish, so I'm going to say you're going up. I'm going to say you do hold this 382. That is my perspective, but if for whatever reason you don't, you've got the areas to expect to go down to. So that's VXV. Let's talk about Near Protocol on Coinbase. Maybe on another one. Yes, there we go. Very, very bullish weekly RSI, that's for sure. High to low here. Deep extensions hit, of course. Beautiful. Oh, man. I don't know. Kind of looking like you want to go lower, Near. And that's okay, right? I mean, you've done phenomenal for yourself since, what is this low here? Since January, the end of January, you moved up 3.6x. Just get a standard kind of pullback, you know. Yeah. I know it looks like trash right now, right? Like all these lines on here, but if you can see past it, if you can use your seeing eyeballs, get through the headache a little bit. Looking at fibs layered on each other like this can help out a lot. You know, I mean, you can see a couple things. For one, you know, the 618, the golden ratio, is all the way down literally at your 786, so that will provide significant support if you were to go that low. I don't think you will, because you have another one right here, which is your 382 on your 1272. After hitting, so whenever you're in this area of extensions, I know there's a lot going on, but just roll with it, okay? When you're in this area of extensions, the area that you look to find support, you know, you hope that you find support on the 1272, but more likely than not, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the 100,886 area, somewhere in this area. Whenever you see deep extensions, however, the 1,886 or above, which you did, you look to find support on the 1618, which you did, but then you rejected the 886 twice, the 1886 twice. So you look to find it on the 1414, which you did, but you rejected the 1886 again. I would say really this 1272 is pretty equivalent to that 886 area. So I think you do go down there. Not only that, this is the reason why I have the fibs layered on there. Not only is that your 1272 at about $5.49, you've got your 382 to, right at $5.48, your 382 right there. So it's very common after a strong move up to come down to your 382, bounce off this area, and then go higher. So it looks like a mess right here, but this is a beautiful mess, man. I really think that 548 to 549 and a half dollar area is where you're going, and you will likely find support there. But I do think you're going down there for the time being, for what it's worth. Yeah. I feel like it's like every other coin I'm bullish, bearish on. It's like going back and forth. ICP. Really, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just flipping a coin, and I'm doing it off camera, and every time it lands on heads, I'm bullish. Every time it lands on tails, I'm bearish. So everything else is just made up. None of that's true, by the way. But none of this is financial advice. You should treat it like it's a coin flip, because you never really know. Maybe a little bit more sophisticated than a coin flip. It is, we are using tried and true methods, backed by my own personal experience, which is over 7 years, and using historical references, so like of the actual charts themselves. So it's a little bit more than just a coin flip, but you get what I'm saying. You can have all the TA, you can do good TA and still get bad results, right? You can do all the things, identify all the things that would make sense for it to go up or go down the direction you want it to, and you can still be wrong. This is a ruthless game. It's not about being right or wrong. It's not. It's about trying to be right, and if you're wrong, managing that risk properly, not being exposed to where it bones you, to where you just lose everything that you have because it didn't go your way, right? Same thing if it goes to the upside, where you can definitely be in an emotional state that could set you up for failure if you're trying to catch something that's just going up as well. I'm doing way too much talking. Let's get on with this. ICP, indeed a bullish move, man. It's because I was bearish on it. I forget if my last video was bullish or bearish on it, but I do want to say at some point here, probably after this rejection on the 1618, I would have thought that we'd go lower, because again, it's not common, though you did do it this time, that you find support on the 1272. Yes, you wicked below it, but you closed a couple times right at it, and you're continuing to find support on it. You're looking like you want to close above the 1618 now. Now the thing is, with the 1886 being hit, if you were to reject from here and go lower, I would think that you probably hold this 1414 area, because that's your next phase up. The fibs like to stair step their way up. You do have lower lows while having higher lows on your weekly. That is a very bullish look in itself. The volume's looking decent. I don't necessarily like the price action of this week. It's a little bit odd to me. It is kind of a cause for concern. The reason being is if you were to go below this 1272, you would likely go all the way back down to $7.30, and you're at $17.40 right now. That's not a friendly thought, is it? So I don't know. I personally don't think that you're going to go down there, but I'm just saying that's what it would look like if you went below $11. And as of right now, I'm not convinced that you'll even go below 1280 for ICP. I want to look at the daily. Yeah. Hold up. Like the daily looks fine. I don't like that, but whatever. It's okay. You can come down a little bit more and still be fine. Hold support at like 1613. Previous areas of resistance, find support literally like right there. Also right after a strong move up, finding support at the 382 is a nice look in itself. Pairing that with previous areas of resistance is not a bad idea either. So maybe you do. Maybe you move down to about $16.13. Hopefully you find support there. I'm thinking you do. But yeah, you look like you want to go down right now. 4-hour daily, more immediate terms look like you want to go down. So look, you probably go a little bit below the 382. It's very common to do that. So look for this potential like daily high to find support. Anywhere and everywhere, I would say between about 1535 and 1612. Probably like 1613 actually. 1535 to 1613. That's where you're going to find support, somewhere in this range. And if not, lower you go, and you better hope that you don't go too low, because if you do, man, if you break below this closing low on the weekly here, you're going back down to about $7. But low nonetheless. I think you are working your way up higher, but just for the time being down. TRX for Kara is next. TRX. Let's see here. No. Right? I think, Kara, you said TRX, right? I don't think you said Taraxa. For some reason I had Taraxa in my head, but I think you said TRX. Okay, that's a really good look in itself too. Potentially, okay, maybe potentially. I might have spoke too soon. You do have lower lows in your RSI while having higher lows in price. That is a good thing. You did somewhat, break above your 618 after consolidating around it, closing right at it, but not quite getting there. And then you came back and you're finding support in this same area. That does look nice. But no follow through this week, which is a little bit concerning. It'd be nice to see this week close green, really engulfing that candle. You don't have to do it this week, but just getting back above the 786, I think sooner than later would be nice. Hey, look at that, already turning green. Beautiful to see. Daily RSI bottomed out in the oversold zone. I mean, I think it looks fine. Yeah, I think it's pretty fine. Going by my own kind of personal rule here, right? When you're in an established uptrend with the 123 moving average here, anytime you're below it, right? Here you are in your downtrend, right? But you've got your higher lows, higher highs here. Definitely set your uptrend. Your line is curving upwards now. Anytime you're below the line, it's like the most ideal places to buy. Once, twice that was true. 3 times that was true. 4 times that was true. All these times coming after like relative highs in this trend. You didn't interact with it at all, so it would have been useless here, proven useless. But that's okay. Not necessarily useless, but just irrelevant, I should say. So, it's kind of the same word, but relative high here, and you went just below it. That very well could have been your low. Very well could have been. Also finding support at previous areas of resistance. I want to say it was your low. I want to say you are going to go higher. And where are you going to go? That's not the high. I want to draw the high. High to low. You're probably going to go up to 15.6 to 17.2 cents. You're at 12.1 now. So working your way up is what I think about TRX. YFI. We got YFI, man. I was talking about this one yesterday. It looks really good right now, guys. The ribbon, I'm not gonna. We can do it real quick. All right. Ribbon is about to cross. It's literally about to cross. I mean, it is, as of right now, it is crossing. You just need this week to close, and you need to close it green. Don't flip it red, because if you do, this could go actually back down. But I mean, regardless, a week or two, if not literally like 3 days from now, you're going to be flipping this ribbon, which is one of the more bullish events, especially on a weekly. Very, very bullish thing. But beyond all that, the weekly RSI does look pretty positive in my opinion. It does stand to reason that you could go down. All that being said, all that bullishness with the ribbon. I think you're going up, man. I think you are. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. Low to high. 618 tweezer bottom, beautiful. Just get above this 236, man. Get above about $9,880 on a daily basis. Close above there, and then it's on. And where is it on to? Probably. Oh man, that's crazy. It'd probably be on all the way up to like 20,000. What? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sorry, I thought we were talking about TRX for a second. Yeah, 20,000 for Yearn. Absolutely. In the mix right now. That probably will take time. That'd probably be like after May, or at least after the beginning of May. I should say after April. But it could be after May, after June as well. But over the weeks, months to come, you're probably going to be working your way up. In the immediate term, if I can talk, on the daily, I do think you're going to go higher. Once you get a daily close above 91.52, you're making a straight shot, probably up to about 11,300, 12,000, something like that. where you may or may not consolidate and then work your way up to 13, 14K, may or may not consolidate, pull back even, and then go up. Who knows how it looks, but inevitably, I do believe you're in the beginnings of a move. You're at a low point right now in a move that will take you up to 20K, 27.5K for YFI. It's looking really good, and that all makes sense paired with the weekly ribbon about to flip bullish too. So, yeah, you can see some fireworks fly, and I'm saying as late or as early as May, but it could happen in a lot shorter of amount of time. It really could. I mean, this thing does move fast whenever it decides to. It absolutely can. If we were to take the same kind of movement, right? And yes, I understand this is different prices. It's at higher market caps, so it's not necessarily fair to draw it like this. But sometimes at higher market caps, you actually move faster than you do at lower market caps. Sometimes, not in all charts. But take Dogecoin, for example. Last cycle, it was at some of the highest market caps that I ever saw. It was the most bullish cycle from a cycle low to a cycle high point that it ever saw. And it was also the highest market caps that it ever saw. So sometimes you do get that. It just depends, But yeah, you could. I mean, it could happen. It could happen in a very short amount of time that you could be up here. I might be underselling it by saying it'll happen after April, but YFI looking like it wants to move higher. Nonetheless, SUI, USD, SUI. I hear a lot of good things about this coin, but I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. It is a new coin, right? It's been around only for a little bit. Yeah. It makes sense, man. You got the exchange listing curse. Got listed on Binance and Coinbase, the biggest exchanges in crypto. Sold off hard, and now, boom, V-shaped recovery. It's a story written as old as time itself, man. Just because a coin gets listed on an exchange does not mean it's bad. It just means it's bad for a certain amount of time, like probably a month or 2 or 3. But from a high to a low point here on this chart, that's beautiful, yeah. Doing a hell of a good job, man. 25% up. That's a really good looking weekly RSI. Now, if you were to next week close a red week, you'd have some bearish divergence form. That wouldn't look too good. I don't know, man. I think you want to go up higher, though. You're at 210. I think you want to go to 240, 241, 245. Yeah, I'm liking that. 241. You're at 210 now. You've got higher to go. You could even go higher than that as well. 330 could be on the brain. And with how you've been reacting, I mean, you tipped that 100 pretty well, but you didn't respect the 1414 too much. Maybe you do go a little bit above. Maybe you see like 250 or something like that, but I think it wants to go higher. Yep, I like it on essentially every time frame we've looked at. I have no problems with it. Yep. One more thing, I suppose. Yeah, 245 lines up right with that 1618 on the macro scale. Yeah, Sui. Jasmy coin, man. Let's see. Very nice accumulation phase, somewhat of an atom, right, and an eve. It has that look to it. It definitely does. I love that look. I like the way the weekly looks. I've heard some people talk smack about this thing. And someone thought that I hated this coin. I don't hate this coin. I don't know what I said that might have triggered that thought, but I don't hate this coin at all. I don't think that it's the Japanese Bitcoin, if that's what people are saying it is. I don't think that that's true, but that doesn't mean I hate this coin, right? Like maybe that's not what they're trying to be, or maybe that is what they're trying to be, but like that doesn't mean that I have to hate it. I don't think that it's the Japanese Bitcoin, but I mean they can try to claim that all they want. It's like Shiba said that they were the Dogecoin killer, but they didn't kill Dogecoin, did they? They for a short amount of time they had a higher market cap, but really Dogecoin has maintained its status as the top dog, quite literally. Enough of that, guys. Enough of that. Let's get on to the TA with this here. Looking at it, you look very good, Jasmy. Look very, very good. I like what you're doing with the 382 right now. You are holding support right above the 382 after breaking above it. You're looking like you want to go all the way up to your 618, 69 area at about 5.5 to 7.77 cents, somewhere around there. Or you could go higher. Who knows? But I would expect you to find turbulence in this area. You do have resistance points here, some support points back here in this area as well. You probably do find turbulence between 5.5 cents to 7.77 cents, but higher nonetheless is where I think you're going. Fairly confident on that, yes. If you move lower, it's going to be insignificant to what you're going to do to the upside over the coming weeks and months. But if like today or tomorrow or the rest of the week you move down, take it as an opportunity to buy more before it takes off. Not financial advice, just my thoughts. Is it GFI? It is GFI, yeah. Hasn't it been around longer than that? No. I feel like I do this every time. I think that it has and it hasn't. I know. There's a lot of clicking going on. High to low. I don't normally take the highs like this, but I've done these charts enough times. Like I know that you do find significance on them, but that's not a good habit to get into. I mean, it's not a bad habit. You can do it. If you don't find significance, just don't be surprised, because sometimes these first days, first weeks, they're not the most reliable of price action. But you did find resistance right on the 382. It looks like you found support like essentially right on the 236. So you broke above your 382 and now it's on. You know, it all looks good. I like the volume that's coming in. It looks really good. I like the RSI. You are pretty damn hot on the RSI though, so be wary. Be wary. 386, man. $2,272 tweezer top. Beautiful. You probably come down. You probably come back down to about 276 at a minimum. I would expect $3.33, $3.32 to hold. But I would think really you're going to go to 276. Probably 276, 278, somewhere in that area is where you're going. Over the days, over the weeks. You moved up very fast. Watch you move down very slow, right? You moved up very fast on your move all the way down from your high here to your low down here. It took you a long time. You grinded down there, right? You're probably going to do the same. You're probably going to do the exact same where you grind your way down to 277, 276. Best case scenario, 332 holds, but I don't think it does. That's GFI. Let's talk about PikaMoon. Well, that is odd. That is an odd chart. Yes, I would stay away from it. I would not want to touch this. There was clearly a lot of buying that happened down here, and without reason, really, it just moved up. I would stay away. I mean, maybe there's a reason for it, but I would stay away from it. And I could be wrong. This could be one of those things that I'm absurdly wrong about, but let's see. I mean, no market cap. That's okay. I'm not going to try to find it, but I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think being that that is a, I believe I'm reading 23,005,897% growth in a day. I would stay the hell away from this thing. I would say, hold on now, hold on. Right. It's just nuts. Yeah, I would stay away. Absolutely stay away. I was trying to do the math on like what a minimum would be. Like if it was at $1 in market, or yeah, like if it was literally at $1 in market cap valuation, you went up to 23 million overnight. You probably weren't at $1. If you were at like 5 million, then you're well over 100 million right now. Like it just, I don't know. In that short amount of time, dude, you're going to see some kind of pullback. You don't want to get in the way. Like you could drop, guys, watch, ready? Watch. This is how sad, how bad it is. You could drop 90% like 5 times over. 90% drop would be right there, right? You put $1,000 and you're left with $100. And then from there, it can drop another 90%. And then from there, it can drop another 90%, right? and then from there another 9. Like, you can drop 90% 4 or 5 times before you actually get back to those areas. So I would stay away. Don't touch. I've spent too much time talking on something that I can't even do technical analysis on, let alone really have a positive opinion on. But that's PikaMoon. Inverse finance. I gotta be honest, Salo Mouse Santos, I thought that this was made up. I thought you might have did a typo, but because I've just never heard of it. But hey, looks like it's been around for a little bit. There you go. Classic dump, nice rounded bottom, accumulation phase, volume is coming in. What's it worth? What's it worth? INV. That's a low market cap, man. We love that. Could use more volume, but hey, whatever. I saw the unlimited supply cap that it had. 382 hit, finding support on the 236. You guys know what that means. 61869, here we come. 226 to 294. You're at 67.61 right now. Yeah, you probably do go up there. Now, it could take months. It could take months. It could take weeks. I don't know, but you look like you're in the midst of that move right now. Yeah. Yep. I mean, you're definitely going to be above. I say definitely, loosely, with a loose meaning on that, definite. You're probably going to be above 100, if not before the end of the month. I would say before, very confidently, I would say before the first week is over in April, like before the 7th. So, inverse finance looking like it wants to go higher. That's my thoughts on that. BSV, Bitcoin Cash SV. It's not even Bitcoin Cash SV, man. It's just Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. They don't want to be affiliated with BSV. BSV doesn't want to be affiliated with Bitcoin Cash. Like, no, at least to my knowledge. I don't know. But us people who are not heavily triggered by things like this, we're like, we just want to make money on it, right? Let's see. Top to bottom. Like, I personally don't like BSV. I don't want to see it succeed, and I don't think that it will. But because of that exact reason, it probably does well. It probably does better than any coin that I'm holding. But I'm never going to buy BSV. But it's always the coins you know about, but you don't want to see succeed. When you hear that in your head, that's the best coin for you right there. Although I don't just dislike this thing for no reason. Like, I don't like Craig Wright. That's my main reason. Fake Toshi himself, man. Lower lows, higher lows, bullish divergence, hidden divergence. Not respecting the fib at all. At all. Looking like you want to go higher. Yeah. Yeah, higher. I'm sorry, guys. I'm yawning so much. It's late for me. I actually had a late start on tonight, and I've got a whole mess of videos to go, but I'm going to try not to yawn throughout the rest of this video. Higher. Higher is where you're going to go. How much higher? I don't know, man. You're probably making a run. You're at 93 bucks right now. You're probably making a run for 138 to 174. You might even go... We might even be talking about prices in the next week or 2 weeks or month or 2 months that are above 230, even above 330. Yeah, $300. Like, literally, that could happen in 2 weeks if this thing decides to move very fast. Though it doesn't look like it likes to. It likes to do little pumps, consolidate for a while. Little pump, consolidate for a while. So probably in the more immediate term, look for that 138 to 174 area. And then a month or two from now, we could talk about $200 to $300, something like that. So that's BSV. Looking good. Looks like it wants to go up. And again, I don't like. It's not that I don't like BSV, honestly. Actually, I just don't like Craig Wright. That's the absolute truth of it. I hope BSV goes up. I hope everybody holding BSV. I hope you guys make money. I got friends in the real world who hold BSV, and I told them that they shouldn't buy it. But whatever. I'm just a hater. I hope that you guys get to wipe your $100 bills in the haters' faces, man, because, anybody in crypto making money, that's a good thing. But Jupe, USD, we're talking about that on Kraken here. I I think Kraken might be the best. We'll go with Kraken, yeah. I said I wouldn't yawn anymore. That was clearly a lie. Okay, so consolidating after a very bullish move. I'm very inclined to believe that you continue higher. This is a neutral pattern. It's what they call a pennant. Treat it kind of like a bull flag, essentially. It is a neutral pattern, as in you could break to the downside. That is totally possible and acceptable. But generally speaking, you break out in the direction that you are trending into the pattern, which would be, in this case, a bullish trend, which would, in that case, mean you'd go higher if you were to break out. Sometimes you only break out the length of the pattern, so that would cause that'd be kind of like a slightly double top or slightly higher high, is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you continue a lot further than that. It depends. What's it worth, man? Jupiter's been quite useful for like DEX trading. Yeah, of course you're going to have a high market cap. Okay. Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. You should be breaking out like today, man. Today or tomorrow, you should be breaking out. Whether it's to the upside or the downside still remains to be seen, but roughly, kind of like roughly drawn. Something like that. Today or tomorrow, I think that you would be breaking out, honestly. I suppose it could be as late as the end of the month, but soon, very, very soon. So I don't know. I'm going to assume that you go up, but if you close a day or get below like $1.25, let's say $1.23, then you're probably going down. And where would you go down to? All the way down to 97 cents. Maybe even down to 71.5 cents. It's very possible. If you're going up, however, you're probably moving up to $180, $2, $2.71 or higher. That's Jupiter. Unknown until we break out of this formation, right? It should be very clear when we break out of it. We're probably going to do it today or by the end of this month, which is like only in the next couple days or so. So Jupiter looking tightly wound, I would say. HNT, USD, Helium on a weekly basis. Probably wants to go lower. I feel like I said that in my last video. Yeah, it probably does. Bullish divergence on the daily, though that has already been fulfilled. Really what you're doing is kind of finding resistance on that 236. Potentially. You have the potential to go up higher. I think you want to go lower, man. I think you're going to go to that 382, 493. That's probably where you're going to go. You're at 644 now, so that is a steady drop. But hey, man, after a big run up, finding support on your 382 is a very classic and very healthy thing to do, actually. But it already found support on its 382. No, it didn't. So I mean, yes, it found support at this area, but the anchor is drawn up here, which was after that. So you wouldn't. That's not how it works, right? It could be just a coincidence. It could be kind of a precursor. I actually do have a theory that if you take a chart and you try to line up the fibs with like what makes sense in the price, like let's just say for example, right now, the 618. If we were to put it like right at the weekly close here, weekly low close, you got the 0.5 splitting. It looks kind of clean, man. Maybe it's not clean enough, and I want to bring that 382 down to like the top there, to where your 618's right there, 382's right there. That could imply that you have a potential top at $40.60, but that's not how you use the fibs. That's not how I've ever used them. I just have this like theory that I've never actually like put to significant testing that might suggest that this could be useful, doing something like this. I don't know, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I haven't seen anybody do stuff like this. I've seen people jokingly do stuff like this, but most people say that's not a good way to do it. But I feel like, I don't know, man, who knows? For $40, let's just see, for example. I don't know, I guess we'd plan on you going down, how low? To your 382, somewhere like literally right around this area. $42 at the 2618. I don't know. I'm just saying. But yes, Probably around 490 is where you're going to go, if not a little bit lower. Don't be scared if you go lower. It's okay. It's very common to go a little bit below your 382 on the first pass. Yes, this is the first pass. After your anchor point, absolutely, it's the first pass. HNT. HFT. Hashflow. We got some Hashflow here in Colorado, man. Let's see. Low to high. Ooh, very bullish look. Yeah, I like that bottom. That's an Adam and Eve if I've ever seen it, man. It's an Adam. This whole chart is an Adam and Eve. Very bullish setup. When this thing breaks this level, when you break above like 83 cents, you're going to have a field day. You're going to have a field week, a field month. It's going to be a great year. Let's just see real quick. From this high point to this low point, 618 resistance, 382 support. Beautiful setup, man. I'd like to see you break the 618 on your next attempt, which I think you are going for right now. You're probably going to go up to about 53 cents from here. Will you break it is the question. Will you break it is the question. 53 cents if you break it, you're looking for 68, 79, 80 cents. And then inevitably, whenever you break that 83 cent area, $1.44, $2.44, even higher is on the table. But for now, I do think you're moving up higher. Oh, yes, I think so. I think you're moving up higher. Yep. Yep. Probably very likely to that 68 to 83 cent area is where you're going to go. HFT. I think it's 0x0 is what you wrote. Hey, look at that. Man. Oh. On BitGet or on CoinX. We're doing BitGet. $2272 hit. Deep extension hit. Kind of a fulfillment of a 1, 2, 3 and ABC kind of movement. You probably come back down, man. You're at 39.6 cents. You're probably going to come back to 23 cents. At least 30, 31 cents, somewhere around there. I think you want to go lower. Yeah, I think it's just all but moved lower yet. Kind of got a flat base with descending highs. It's not a good look. Very neutral 4-hour look. Not really giving us anything. I'm thinking it goes lower. We'll see at about 30.7 cents, if not 23.7 cents, somewhere around there. 0x0. XEP. Electra Protocol on MEXC. Let's see. That's insane. That's a nice move up. High to low. Common extensions hit. You're moving back down. Yeah, you're probably going to come back down to about 3095 for a good opportunity to buy for anybody who missed this opportunity. 3095 to 30768. And if you go below that line, that's okay. That's still okay. But those are the areas I'm looking for. 3095, 30768, somewhere around there. Probably going down. I think so. Yeah. Yep. Pretty convinced on that. Yep. Yeah, this thing's been unbeatable. I remember when I first started talking about it, it was like somewhere over here. I forget when. I say I remember, but I actually forget. I don't remember. It might have been before it actually even topped off. It might have been. But I've been calling for lower prices, I'm pretty sure, like every single time that I talk about it. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I was bullish on it after that. That's a bullish look. I don't remember. Anyways, enough of that. We're talking about the here and the now. High to low. Deep extension hit. Probably pull back to about $1.10. You could find support on the 1886. If you do, if you continue to move up and you close above $1.84, you're going to see 241, 242, maybe even $3 in a very, very, very short amount of time. But with how overbought you were, I wouldn't be surprised if you move back to about $1.09, $1.09 or 83 cents, somewhere around there. I got nothing bearish really to say about it, other than pretty overbought. It wouldn't be crazy. You hit a deep extension, it wouldn't be crazy if you move back to about $1.09 to 83 cents. That's my thoughts. I genuinely do think it's going to go lower, but don't be surprised if it decides to move up to like $3 from here, man. It really could. It genuinely could see another 100% growth before pulling back, but it will inevitably pull back. But this thing's just been unmatched, man. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. I wonder, is it available on Binance? It's not on Binance. Ooh, I wonder if you're going to get a Binance listing soon. That's why you're seeing this pump. I don't know. Just a theory, not a guarantee. Let's talk about time. Chrono.tech on Coinbase. I forget, because I've talked about this one before, but it's been a second. Chrono.tech. Yeah, low market cap. I thought so. Having a hard time, obviously. Not the chart, me, but the chart too. But I think you want to go lower. $26, $25, potentially down to $20 itself. Yeah, you want to go lower. I think so. Now there's hope, a glimmer of hope, and that resides in you closing above the 236 on a daily basis. You need to get above 36.61, and even then you're not completely safe, but I think you'd start to look good. For right now, I think you're going at least to $26, $25, if not $22 to $20, somewhere in that area. That's time. Let's talk now about STX and finish it up with BonabBit after this. Stacks, man. Stacks should get its own video, actually. What's that market cap at? Isn't it? Yeah, it's purple, but this one's orange. 5 billion, yeah, it's a big old cap. Do we have... I thought so, okay. Beautiful structure. Yeah, you're reaching, dude. You're reaching right now. Stacks, you're going up to $7.30 to 10. Let's call it $7.30 to $10.90. Maybe even up to $19.41. What would that do to you on a market cap perspective? You could see it. Dude, that'd be crazy. If you did this, man, if you did this at all this year, which you very well could be doing right now, moved up to about like 19 to 20 bucks, Stacks, you might be pulling up greater than a $100 billion market cap by the end of this cycle. It's kind of nuts, dude. But it looks good. It looks really good. Yeah, I like everything about it. I think it wants to move up rather immediately. Next target to watch for is about $7.30. $7.30, $10.90, somewhere in there. That's my thoughts on Stacks. Let's finish this up with BonabBit. I thought so. See, because this was a request on my WeWoo video that I made where I was saying WeWoo was a scam. So you were asking about BonabBit. Jacob Horton or Wharton. If this isn't a scam request, if you're not trying to direct people towards something that is absolute crap, then we can at least look into it here. The pre-sale is live. I don't know, man. See, this is the thing, is like you have to take it upon yourself really to figure that out. Global launch, 22 days. Hey, what? Is it partnered with Coinbase, or is it just saying it wants to be on Coinbase? Like, is this just a lie? All right. looks legit, man. Looks pretty legit. I don't know. You know, I'm not financial advice for anybody, but the way you go about stuff like this is you buy it on the pre-sale. It gets listed on Coinbase. You send your tokens to the Coinbase wallet ahead of time, and then once it's listed, you sell. You get the hell out because it'll dump. And then you buy back in if you like it. I don't know. It looks legit to me, Jacob Orton, but it could be a scam. Just because it's getting listed on Coinbase and Binance doesn't mean that it's going to do well. But I would bet that if you buy the pre-sale, you will probably be able to sell it at a premium on the day that it is launched. So interesting. I don't know. I'm going to look more into this, actually. I don't know enough about it, but yeah, that's a decent tokenomic distribution there. Interesting. It'll be interesting. Anyways, that's all I got to say, guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If there was a winner to this, I don't know, man. I can't think straight. I don't remember. We're gonna give it to BSV just because it's the one that I least like. GTC looks really good too. I will say GTC does look pretty damn good. XEP, Arrow, they both look good too. I don't know. We're gonna give it to BSV for Bitcoin Fake Toshi Vision. And with that, I leave you. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.